Let's see. We have a volume sound. Let's see. Okay. Good morning to everyone. So, our usual daily Bitcoin analysis. We continue to go down bit by bit. However, we have divergence on the daily. So clearly we can see this bullish divergence. But still we have to see Heikin-Ashi turning green on the daily, and on the weekly it looks very bearish. So today is the rate decision. Most probably I will not be at home during this evening, but yeah, so I don't intend to trade too much today, maybe even some very small scalp. Now the 4 hour is good, I guess, to take a long and close it before the meeting, before the Fed meeting. 3 hour also looks like we're going up. 1 hour not so bullish, to be honest, because we're deeply in the red. On the 1 hour, 45 minute, yeah, we're already starting to turn down. So on the 30 minute also we're about to print a red dot on the momentum, and we have a money fall going down. So no trade for me. It's choppy. Here we're climbing on the money fall, but still looks choppy and undecided before the Fed meeting. It's normal. Yesterday I said I expected consolidation and sideways movement. This is exactly what we're getting. No surprises here. There might be a lot of volatility on the actual meeting and during the rate decision and after the rate decision, so I will not trade today. I will, when I get back tomorrow at home, I will see what is happening, but this is my plan. Don't really want to open any positions right now. Let's see this indicator here. Okay, this is the 4 hour, and we're still below this trend line, and I think yeah, there might be more weakness in Bitcoin going down because we broke this trend line and we went up. Now we're kissing it again. Volume delta is going down. However, on the top traders average leverage delta, we seem to be climbing up. So here we are 40 on the Google Trends, the Bitcoin price interest term. Nothing really to mention here. I want to see what will be the rate decision. I'm playing now Inspo Crypto Analysis. Yeah, this is choppy. I expect to be choppy during today. I might attempt small scalp at, well, at 19.5 or 7, I don't know. It's right now it's looking like it's going completely sideways, and not for short, not for long. I'm playing Inspo Crypto on chain analysis, and I'm having a breakfast.
Hello folks, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspo Crypto. Well, today it's absolutely not exciting. A very controlled market today, really controlled. You can see my trend channel here. We had some deviations. We had here a deviation. It's not really a bull trap. I don't know what happened here, to be honest. But however, and then we have the beer trap here. We lifted up. I just went short here. I closed my short here, and I missed my long here because I was just in a business meeting. But as tweeted, at 18,750 was my expected bounce. Just well expected. It wasn't unclear if we are going just to bounce there, but we are in a downward trend. That's bullish. That's not bearish. Only bearish if that's a trap. That could be bearish then. Otherwise, it doesn't look that bad to go up, indicating by that downward channel here. So some people are right now discussing if, well, potentially 50 bps are priced in, or even 75 bps is priced in, and what would happen if 100 bps. Well, first of all, it's pure speculation. I wouldn't spend any second to talk about that. We can do that, of course, but the market also demonstrated in the past, even it was bearish, they pushed up. So it's going to be gambling tomorrow. I mean, Fed will rise and hike interest rates as long as the inflation maintains high and above of 2%. That's a clear announcement by the Fed. They are not going to shift away from it. Absolutely not. And as mentioned, the only way where I see a potential scenario for a pivot would be if they see that the inflation is declining in a pace that they need to control, so to stop to hike rates and at the same time a pivot. Just to try to maintain the 2% or to reach the 2% level on inflation to avoid any kind of potentially go below of 2%, so below even to go to a negative, that's deflation then, because that could be a big challenge for any central bank. Something that can happen in a way where the masses, retailers, citizens just adapt to the environment and stop to consume. That's the worst case in one economy. So we will see. I really don't have any idea because the inflation, I mean, Joe Biden wouldn't agree with my statement now, it seems, after the 60 minutes interview. But, you know, I mean, the inflation in the US maintains at 8.3%, and it declined just by 0.2%. Is that meaning that the inflation spiked, like he said, for example, in the 60 minutes interview? I don't think so, because in my opinion, still, the inflation just declined because of the crude oil price dump. Something after the OPEC Plus announcement to reduce the production of crude oil again, it should be very bullish for crude oil and its price. So that would indicate me that inflation could go up even more later on. And I mean, the both main drivers are exactly that: crude oil, energy in general, and food and energy. I mean, we have a correlation. You have to transport the food. So, and of course, you need other things also to produce food. So everything correlates very well. And usually we have a delay. So I can imagine that even the next CPIs could go down a little bit more. But I don't think that it's potentially bring us to 5%, 4% or something. So maybe we will go down for a, I don't know, another, 0.2 or 3%, but that's it. Politically interesting because Joe Biden will, like he said in the interview, well, I mean, it spiked and it's now going down. No, I think it's too early just to make such a statement. Only if you are looking to the midterm election, it would make sense to make such a statement in an interview where you know that millions and millions of American voters will watch this interview. But in my opinion, he is absolutely wrong. However, we will see what they are going to announce tomorrow. First of all, in the FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement. We have all these three events at the same time: Fed interest rate decisions, and then 30 minutes later, FOMC press conference. However, I think that Friday could be the most important day, just due the fact that Powell is going to make it speak, like in 1.5 hours. So at 7 p.m. Central European Time, ECB President Lagarde is going to speak as well. Could be also very interesting. and could even have an impact to DXY. So, another quick topic. I blocked today a follower just because he thought it's okay to tell me what kind of friends, he said friends, I don't know, well, however, I should have and which not. It was about Jakob Silverman, the journalist from the US. I don't know him in person, but we had nice chats in the past. I like him very much. I know he is not bullish on crypto, that's fact, but something I don't see as a problem because I'm someone that tolerates any kind of opinions. I mean, we can exchange, and sometimes you need the contrast view to see how good or something, or sometimes how bad the product or whatever you are looking for is in reality. Because sometimes we are too deep in crypto that we are not seeing also the negative things related to crypto. And it's not our case because we are openly talking about, well, our scammers, Do Kwon, and we have talked about Tether in the past, and so on, and so forth. So for me, Ben McKenzie and Silverman are at least two journalists that, have a contrary view related to crypto. But in my opinion, that's not bad at all. That's absolutely not bad at all. But to be offensive against these guys, it's absolutely something I don't want to support. And please, guys, do me a favor. We are talking about crypto, and I'm analyst. We can talk about my analysis, but don't make such a comment because it doesn't matter who you are. I'm going to block you. I don't have any interest to be connected to you in any way then. Just to make it absolutely clear. So, let us go forward and check what the market can tell us. Weights ratio 30 days moving average declining even more. We will see. I'm not going to taser it, but it looks like we will see if it's going to decline even more because I was expecting a little bit. So indicating that whales are really just sending less bitcoins to spot exchanges. I'm still convinced that the big moves to the downward are done for this year. Not saying the bottom is in. Be careful what I'm saying right now. But for this year. And the weights ratio 30 hours moving average is at least confirming that. Doesn't mean we can go from here a little bit more lower. But I don't think that we are going to make new lows in this year from the current ones. Weights ratio 30 hours moving average. So I had just to refresh the site here again. So what we see, and something, I was expecting a little bit, that could indicate, it's too early to say that, could indicate that we are not going to visit new lows. We will go up. Usually when that happens, weights ratio 1 hour dumps to 0. That indicates that whales are not sending bitcoins to the exchanges. Usually that's a pattern that indicates we go up. It depends how many that happens. The bullish impact to the price will be even higher. So if we have 3, 4, 5 in a row, a big move to the upside is going to happen next. Next doesn't mean in the next hours, doesn't mean in the next days, can even, sometimes it takes 1 week. It depends. So that's a process. We have 2 of them. Usually, even if we have 1, usually the price reacts a little bit bullish on that. So I could expect we go a little bit more higher, hitting, for example, 21.3 or something. However, also well illustrated by the weights ratio 30 hours moving average. It lifted up. While it lifted up, afterwards it started to dump in the price. That's something I always were mentioning related to weights ratio. Weights ratio doesn't, it's always, when we are using the 30 MA, it's always delayed. So when it starts to decline, okay, now the party should begin. And that's what happened here, for example. So here we had a front running. That's really the most curious thing because we started to dump even while we were lifting up. So that's something that can happen, but usually it's not. I mean, the weights ratio here started to lift up at 88 and did 92%. and from here it started at 85 and did 90%, so even lower. So also here it makes sense. However, waste ratio right now declining, indicating whales just sending less bitcoins. Also here confirmed twice by this yeah, waste ratio 1 hour bottom. At the same time, stablecoin supply lifted up a little bit, just really a little bit. We are talking about 250 millions, and related to centralized exchange reserves related to stablecoins. Also here, for example, yeah, we are talking about 500 millions. I need to check that. No, of course not. 50 millions. That makes sense. So that's it. Let us go forward. So what we see here, I need just, because we had big inflows in the past, so I need just to make it clear, I need to zoom in a little bit. So let me disable the stablecoins first. So as you see, we are receiving more bitcoins. That's why I say we can even go more lower. So we can, for example, just make a retest of our current bottom of 16.7 or whatever. Why? Well, if we go to the daily, we can see that, and you remember I was saying just that was mid of September. I said, the inflow activity is really big. I mean, we received September 13th 27,000 bitcoins in one day. And what happened afterwards? We dumped. Right now, we see that also here the daily inflow activity is rising at the moment at 23,000. That's really big, but at the same time, even the volume rised a lot. So I'm still not really sure if that's going to have an impact to the price, or if it's priced in because they are just absorbing all these bitcoins while we are maintaining that level and even declining a little bit. So we see here the blue is the green candles, a lot of aggregated volume. Doesn't look that bad, to be honest, absolutely not. And from Glassnode, I have to say, I still don't see those 200,000 bitcoins to centralized exchanges, to be honest. At least on CryptoQuant, they are not illustrated. So yeah, that's partly why I'm not using Glassnode. So I really can't confirm that yet. However, the weights are still sending bitcoins, but not that big like just before. And that's what the weights ratio is declining. What does it mean? Not like just before, because right now, just for example here in the last hours, is lifting up, but we had here as well, for example, a very flat period where nothing happened. That was over the weekend, for example. Then it lifted up, but the maximum was, and that was September 19th, so yesterday, the maximum was since days 2,300 bitcoins in 1 hour. That's not really big. At the same time, and that's something why I think we could retest our current bottom of 17.7 or something, is because the inflow activity is here, but the outflow activity is not really big, and the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges are lifting up, also indicating they're accumulating on centralized exchanges, and that's something we need to be careful. But at the moment, it still looks like we will not make at the moment new lows. And that's what I can see on metrics. So let us go forward. Well, once again, funding rate declined. Funding rate is lifting up, indicating they are demanding more longs at the moment, while the price is or was following. Right now, the price is doing the opposite. It's declining, while the leverage, the funding rate maintains its on its level. So it's not declining. It's not indicating that people are demanding more shorts. At the same time, open interest, I mean, if we see that was the level before the dump, and we are right now here. So it takes time to recover. What is recovering now quick is the leverage ratio. So just to make here a comparison, if the leverage ratio was here, the leverage ratio is now here. So also indicating they are recovering very quick. Gamblers are back on the table, and we know what does that mean while the funding rate is lifting up. So indicating high leverage longs, and we know what that means, and that's the usual pattern. If they want to move up, they will shake out the longs as much as they can, and when everyone is saying no, I'm not going to long anymore because they are going to liquidate me, they will push up. So at the moment, that's how it looks like. I can't tell you how it will look in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks. I just can tell you how it looks at the moment. Well, stablecoin to derivative exchanges. Yesterday was a nice day, so indicating, I guess, and that explains why also the funding rates were just lifting up, I guess, is they started too long and the price followed. But as we can see here, people are taking profit. So just outflows rising. If we check, for example, bitcoins, we can see on the Bitcoin side to derivative exchanges, they are just taking profit. Absolutely. That's what's happening. So we have here even more outflows than inflows at the moment. If we go forward, the aggregated view is, as mentioned, we have here the open interest, we have here the leverage ratio, we have here the funding rate. Open interest, yeah, and that's the funding rate. So it looks exactly what I have showed you just a few minutes ago. At the same time, we also see here they liquidated all these shorts here, but it's peanuts compared to the longs that they liquidated. In my opinion, something similar is going to happen. I can imagine we will move up again to collect more longs and then go down again just to shake them out. I don't know how many times they will play this game, but I guess as long as they notice that people are longing and longing and longing every time when we go down, it's just showing them, however it's shaking out all the time, it's showing them we are far away from a capitulation, far away. So if that's the goal, that can take a while. And on Binance, looks similar, only open interest absolutely flat. Yes, the leverage ratio is also here lifting up, but nothing big. And here they demanded a lot of longs. Right now it seems demanding more shorts, but you know, that's why the price don't want to push up very hard and maintains in this downward channel, and every time they are just liquidating all these longs all the time. BitMEX, I guess shorts are coming? No. Once again, no. So shorts maintaining that very low level compared to the longs. We have almost 69% of longs while only 31% of shorts. That's not big at all. On Bitfinex, opposite, they reduce the longs once again. Even the shorts are not coming, but in my opinion, they on Bitfinex, if it maintains above of at 2 billions, and it's not at 2.2 or 2.3, it means they are not hatching anymore. So I guess they distributed everything, but also here we need to see it's really just too early to say that. However, 62% of longs on Ethereum, while 38% on shorts. Once again, it looks much healthier on Ethereum than on Binance, than on Bitcoin, sorry. Kingfisher, let us take a look what Kingfisher is telling us. 12 credits, give me a little bit more please. I would love to have some more. Oh, that's my lucky day. 10, great. So let us take a look if something changed between FTX and and Binance. I guess I need to refresh the site and hopefully then it's going to work. Wow. Okay, it changed. Even the volume, it seems the liquidation volume lifted up a little bit. We had 30 millions, that was extremely low. Now we have 50 millions. If we check, we have at least here 19,500. Another cluster that looks much more attractive than on the long side. So as just mentioned, without to see this liquidation map was to go up, collect more longs and go down, because then this cluster would rise a little bit more and then liquidate and shake out these longs once again. So let us see what's happening here, just to make a comparison to FTX. For me, why I'm doing that, and nobody is asking about that, that's the most curious thing, is I just want to see the structure between Binance and FTX. Because if the structure is similar, that could be an indicator that one single actor is using FTX and Binance futures at the same time. And that could be a very interesting information, because that's what, at least based on bot activity, I noticed in the past. FTX is using Binance, while, for example, Bitfinex is using Huobi, Deribit, OKEx, and so on and so forth. So let us take a look what is indicating here. However, if they want to liquidate this here, we need to go to 15K. As mentioned, I still don't think we are going to make new lows this year, but the market is surprising me sometimes, so it wouldn't wonder if that happens. But I'm not trading it. It's not part of my trading strategy, to be honest. So let us see. At that part, very accurate in my opinion, even this part here, and that's interesting because both would be mid leverage. It starts very flat, very low, okay, here as well, but once again, look that, what is that, 1,800, no millions, I don't know what it is. However, we see that at least on liquidation, on the liquidation map, it's also for FTX even more interesting to liquidate those here at 18,700 than to go and to liquidate those here at 19.7. The question is, who is going to shake out? If Binance is the main driver, you know what's going to happen. They will push up to 19.5, 19.6 to liquidate the shorts, or if it's FTX, it's clear we will go down to 18.7, 18.8 to liquidate all these longs. So that's something we need to see, at least based on volume. I would say Binance much more interesting than FTX. So let us go forward. So if we check that, we can see that FTX is clearly not on the accumulation side. I mean, if we take a look to the aggregated CBD here and we compare that to the FTX CBD, while the price is lifting up, the collateral future, really the main driver,
I want to see the
did announce, who knows, buy, sell, buy, sell. That's what they are doing, always with making quick profit. I don't know why these entities have always the same trade behavior. I can't tell you that. And the market maker entities, I label these guys market maker. I don't know if it's the market maker, but you know, the market maker has the best trade behavior, and that's why I call them just market maker. They went down to a new low of, we can't see that now, but yeah, I don't know why, of 4,890,000 bitcoins. So it seems they declined by 2,000-3,000 bitcoins or something. And afterwards, they pushed up their balances. While, for example, as you can see here, these entities, mainly related to centralized exchanges like Bitfinex, Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, and so on and so forth, are declining. That's something usually when that means someone took profit or withdraw their bitcoins off centralized exchanges, and that matches once again very nice to the market makers, because that's something, for example, they like to do. They use, for example, their bitcoins to send to derivative exchanges, to long with them as a Bitcoin collateral future, take profit, withdraw, and send them just a few days later when the price maybe went up, for example, or if they need a new dip or whatever they want to do, because it's for me still a secret what it's in their minds. But however, usually that is maybe yeah, some bitcoins to dump afterwards. We need to see, because that's what they love to do always. That's what they are doing. Doesn't look like accumulation at the moment, not yet. So we need to see what's going to happen.
Okay, thanks for this analysis. We're going sideways. As I said, I want to see what would be the right decision. I think a lot of players will wait for this decision and and don't trade actively or make big positions. So that's it from my side. Have a good day.